Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Pakulski here. Another YouTube video for you, coming out with Educate, Dominate. I thought today I'd touch briefly on program design and how I approach my periodization, particularly because I'm just coming off an injury, or more particularly a surgery, which obviously set me back. I had to take about 6 weeks off the gym, give or take. So a lot of people are asking, well, Ben, how do you come back from something like that, and how do you approach, a basic hypertrophy program? So ideally, I'm going to give you guys an idea as to the insights that I look at when creating my approach. So obviously, you have to start off with, minimal volume, so your body can't, obviously recover and respond to large amounts of volume. So we start with very, very minimal volume, 2 to 3 minutes rest. It's really about what I call relearning motor movement patterns, movement patterns. Really, really simple stuff. Take an exercise through a full range of motion and teach that muscle how to contract properly in the appropriate range. That's the first 1 to 2 weeks. Once you feel your body is starting to adapt to that, another reason you have to go slowly is anytime you're looking for ideal body composition hypertrophy, you need to minimize inflammation. So if we're doing too much training, too fast, we get too sore. I get this question all the time. Should I, really kill a muscle, or should I train a little more frequently? Something called the repeated bout effect has been shown to be more beneficial for the long-term growth, meaning don't train it quite as hard, just train it more often. So anybody looking for hypertrophy, there's a good tip for you. So the first couple weeks I come back, I'm doing a little less volume, a little more time between sets, really allowing my body to adapt and trying not to accumulate excessive inflammation, which is going to force me into an injury or have to take a lot of time off. The next thing that I do is I'll decrease the rest periods. So essentially I'm increasing the workout density, what's called the workout density. So I'm ultimately doing either the same amount of work in a shorter period of time or slightly more work because there's slightly less rest between sets. Beyond that, then I'll start adding in slightly more frequent workouts. So instead of doing something every 6 to 7 days, maybe I'll start doing it every 4 to 5 days. So my next thing is, from density, then we go to frequency. We improve workout frequency or increase workout frequency. So now I'm doing every body part every 4 to 5 days. Still using, on average, 60 seconds rest between sets, and trying not to give myself too long to recover and not letting the workout stretch anywhere beyond an hour and 10 minutes. If we're really working efficiently, which isn't quite yet, but a little down the road, 45 minutes, we hit it really hard, we get out. So then beyond frequency, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting to add in intensifiers. So for this first 3 to 4 weeks that I'm back in the gym, there's really not a lot of intensifiers. There's not a lot of supersets. There's not a lot of drop sets. It's just really trying to keep everything straight sets and allow my body to adapt to the increased density and increased frequency. Why? Because obviously if I've been off for 6 weeks, my body's going to really grow and respond to anything I subject it to. So why would I try to overload and I'll use all these intensifiers and all these additional techniques, which is going to make my workouts harder when my body doesn't really need it to adapt. My body's really going to adapt to anything I subject it to. So ideally the logic is you should be doing as little as possible to get as much growth as possible. That sounds like a cheater approach, but you want to work really, really hard just in small bouts. So ultimately, if today I'm working for 30 minutes and it's really hard, next week I can work for 40 minutes and still work really hard and get additional benefits. So ultimately we're trying to be really smart with our approach and not burn out our body. There is definitely a time and a place for doing an hour and a half workout twice a day, which I'll get to. But ultimately you try to do as little work or as much work in a shorter period of time as possible until your body stops responding to that, and then slightly make increases. So whether it be 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or adding an extra set in here, or adding a little bit less rest in there. Okay, so the next thing I'll start doing, like I said, is I'll add in intensifiers. So I'll add in supersets, drop sets. So the first thing I'll add in is a single drop set. So a lot of you know about the Mi40 program that I incorporate a lot of NOS sets into my training, which I absolutely do when I'm at my peak. When I'm training toward building to that, it'll start with simply supersets. So 2 exercises in a row or a simple drop set. Again, that's one additional thing we add to our repertoire, which is a change, and my body will respond. Then maybe we'll go to tri-sets, or we'll go to triple drop sets, and then eventually we'll work our way up to NOS sets, and all the while keeping the frequency at every 4 to 5 days per body part. A lot of people have the misconception of training every 7 days being optimal. I really think anyone who knows anything about hypertrophy will tell you that every 7 days is not optimal. It's just, what does your body know what a week is? Your body has no idea what a week is. your body knows, okay, it takes this long to recover this muscle. Whenever it's recovered, it's time to do it again. As someone who's looking to optimize hypertrophy and looking to optimize body composition, the ideal goal is to train that body part as often as you can while still recovering. So, I mean, if you can recover training your legs every 3 days, you're going to grow more than training every 7 days. It's very simple logic, but training every 7 days is a huge misconception. Probably, that came to fruition in the 90s or even 80s. So that's in the past. We don't think about that anymore. So we're on to training every 4 to 5 days, and we're doing supersets, drop sets, and not sets. Beyond that, then I'm going to go into doing things twice a day. So I have about a 6-week progression before I get into doing things in a 2-a-day split. So I know a lot of you guys ask, Ben, how do I get doing things twice a day? There needs to be a logical progression, guys. It can't just be from A to Z or from 0 to 100. It doesn't work like that, or at least it shouldn't work like that. You could theoretically do it, but you're missing all these steps for growth potential in between. So why would you do that? Ultimately, as someone who's looking to optimize hypertrophy, like I say, it sounds like cheating, but ideally just a little bit more stimulus will give you a substantial amount of growth. Your body can only grow so fast, so why lose and use all these growth steps in between? You need to take advantage of every growth potential in between. 2-a-day training I do for 3 weeks max, and then I take a week off, or I'll take a week of deload training where I may only train 3 or 4 times, substantially less volume and a little more rest in between sets. So for those of you who watch me in the gym or see what I do, the videos I post, so you have an idea as the logic I use to approach my hypertrophy training going into the contest and all the way through the off season. So it's a bit of a long video for you. I rambled a little bit. Go back and watch it again. Feel free. Please do share it if there's something you found here interesting. And thank you very much, guys. And I'll be back telling you a little bit about how I approach contest prep in a very similar way to hypertrophy.